All right. I think we're going to be live.
Amazing.
All right. 1 second. There. I'll get it 9 seconds in. I'm going to hit live on Instagram. So, all right, guys, I know we have some comments going on. I see a Justin in here. Deirdre, how are you? Deirdre, I owe you an email. I saw a sweet message from you to Pace Morby and myself. But guys, I have a special guest. Uncle Lanza said something to me yesterday. He reached out. He's like, "Hey, I want to get into Deal Sauce. Let's do something live. Let's give something to the people. Let's do something organic." And also, if you guys don't know Uncle Lanza, he's a OG. You know, I actually don't know exactly when you came in, but you were one of the early ones, right?
Yeah. On any given day, let's see. I've been student number 2, 4, 13. It depends. It depends what kind of mood Pace is in that day, I suppose. But I was fortunate. I actually met Pace in February of 2020. Him and Jamil were doing their tour across America. Didn't know either one of them from Adam. Never heard of them. Never met them. Didn't know who they were. But it was amazing that they were just both like such real people, such giving people. I mean, just immediately like connected with their spirits. Immediately kept connected with who they were at that time, a lot more so than just like the business aspect of it. Although, now knowing the business aspect, like Pace is an incredible mentor in that respect. But it was more just like who this dude is. This guy is like talking in a way that like I've never heard anybody else talk in that realm, and connected it with business. So that was in February of 2020. March of 2020, as we all know, what happens? COVID hits, right? And especially here in California, where I'm at, I live in San Francisco, the whole market shuts down, like the whole state shuts down. Like you can't go see houses unless you wear like hazmat suits, boots, masks, sign 25 million disclosures. I mean, literally, and you're the only one that can go in the house. So, I mean, that's like not conducive to the real estate business, right?
Yeah.
So Pace starts the mentorship in like end of April, beginning of May. Yeah. And it was just like something, I had just been in another mentorship that actually cost a whole lot much more money than SubTo did. So it was very reluctant to be like, oh, let's do another mentorship. But there was something internally that's just like, and I even told that to my wife. I'm like, I don't know. We just have to do this. Best decision of our lives.
Wasn't it?
Other than deciding to get married to each other.
Oh, yeah. And I love how you and Ann are always together. It's a 2 peas in a pod. So usually wherever you are, and I like that, wherever you are, you guys are there together.
Yeah.
And what was, if you don't mind, if you don't have to promote it, but like, who was it? Because I was in another mentorship the same year, and I went from 0 mentorships to 2. Who did you go with? What did you do?
At the time, it was a mentorship called Response, which is no longer in existence. They actually got shut down by the FTC.
Yeah,
so that's all another story in itself. So
that's good. Well, yeah. I mean, look at that. I mean, you get a lifetime membership here. Like we have like forever. It was probably a 1 year anyway, right? Or less?
Yeah. It was one of those ones that was like, that was so a limited time.
This isn't like we're not planning on talking about SubTo, and we're not asking anyone to join SubTo if you're not in SubTo. Majority of our friends that are probably watching are SubTo, and community members alike. So shout out to everyone there. But we're not selling anything here for that. At the end of the day, I want to talk about, like, I was with Steve Trang. I said I needed a manage. What did I say? I needed a business coach. I thought had an electrical business, doing real estate at the same time, going, I know there's something, I need some sort of correction here. What do I need? I just need guidance. And next thing you know, I go to Steve Trang, and it's a sales course. And I'm like, I had no idea what I was signing up for. It was great. And it paid for itself 7 times over. That was 15 grand for 1 year. So all y'all out there sitting here contemplating about whatever the SubTo cost is now for entry level. But 1 year I was with love Steve Trang, but 1 year.
Steve is great. But and okay, so I joined in April, May of 2020. We're in January of 2025. I've never paid another penny to be in SubTo. And I mean, to say that mentorship's paid for it itself, like bro. I don't even know what the exponent is at this point in my life.
Bro, so good too. And someone just asked me too about Owners Club. They're like, hey, do you think you got your Owners Club value out of it? I go, yeah, the phone call that I had in, I don't even know, August or July or whatever. And we talked, you're friends with Pace, and I'm fortunate enough to be friends too, close enough. I still don't call him or text him and say, hey man, I have this problem.
Yeah.
I think we put ourselves in a different situation where we probably are in the, like, we do a disservice to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like that.
My text to Pace are like, hey, here's a picture of me and my wife in Italy. Like, we're having
Thinking
a
of you. Yeah, exactly. Andy and Marcia, how are you guys? Awesome. All right. So guys, we're going to get into it. Uncle Lanza has deal sauce, and
I
really
just got it. I
you
just
just
got it. I'm
got it.
super excited. But
All
yeah,
right.
as soon as I knew about it, well, I shouldn't say soon, but I'm like, I need to do it. I need to do it. And so I
So
absolutely pulled the trigger. Been waiting for
tell
this to come out.
and me too. And this is still freshman year, as you know, the inception or the beginning of anything. Uncle Lanza, tell everybody what you're doing in your business. I mean, you have your own method. You have your own freaking strategy in our community named after yourself. So
Yeah.
kudos to you. But tell the audience, like, what would you be using some sort of software like this for in your business?
So, we do a lot of direct to agent is direct to seller. So I do have a method that I use. I still use to this day, but I mean, over the time your business expands. So it's like, I just don't do one thing. I mean, when I started out, I kind of pretty much did one thing, and that was successful. But I think, that's just like you're expanding your business, you're building your team, you're doing all those things. So, I mean, the Lanza method is, in a nutshell, is just JVing with wholesalers and using social media to do that. So I won't go into all that. But the other things that we're doing is, we are reaching out directly to realtors. We are blasting out offers to realtors. We are blasting out LOIs to realtors. We are contacting sellers directly. We have a whole acquisition team and a disposition team. We're pulling lists. We have 5 VAs that work for us. So, we're using the other platforms to do some of our research, right? So, super excited about Deal Sauce, because I think that this is going to kill many birds with one stone.
Yes. And that's what we're learning about all the time. We want to do, many birds, one stone. And you said it. So the one thing is LOI Blaster. You did mention that Myron and Pace are doing something really special.
Yeah.
And that's been out for a while.
Yesterday, Myron's a good friend of mine, so they're killing it with that. That's
yeah. And I know we have early on, before we even went into this, we were collaborating, connecting, making sure we can actually do that. Now we don't have a button just yet to say, LOI Blaster, which it's in the works. But we know we can pull that data for LOI Blaster. We can pull the data for really anything. That's the coolest part. And I think Myron just told me, he sent me a text the other day. I didn't, telling me is not a big deal. I'm just getting the information because I need to know how things are going. But it's not like I'm the decision maker and I own this place. However, he's like, bro, I just pulled Florida, 5,000 records on market with agents. He goes, I thought now this is where I have to go back on my messages. He said, I think I was losing 30% plus of data when I was pulling those lists with other providers. He says, I just pulled it. I got practically everything I needed. And I was elated to hear that. So I know if the agents, guys, if you're doing LOI Blaster and if the agent puts that information in their listings, the email, phone number, you will get it. If they give it to us, we can get it. So that was pretty awesome to hear.
One of the things that we've been having a problem with is like just the information, the accuracy of the information. I think when we're talking, like, so our VAs kind of handle the blasting part of it, and then we handle the back end, like, the closing and all that kind of stuff. But they're saying like 50% of the information is not really accurate. They're having it. The VAs are trying to go back and get that. So yeah. So, looking forward to Deal Sauce having some more accuracy in that area as well.
Yeah. And that's what it is. We're doing the best we can, and not everything, guys, is going to be the most accurate.
Yeah.
We get most of the data is going to be out there in the public, as you guys know. And it's our job to aggregate it,
Yeah. Nothing's ever perfect, but but at the same token, there's a lot of things. Well, that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about seeing all the things that Deal Sauce actually does. So
Yeah, so I'm going to get right into it now. I'm just going to bring up the right screen over here. So give me 1 second, guys. And all right. So I guess, what do you want to see first? Is there something in particular you'd like to see first?
Just kind of, just give me a little bit of a tour because, like, again, just signed up recently, haven't really had a chance to go through it that much yet. So yeah, just kind of give me an overall tour, and then
All right, let's do it. All right, guys, I'm going to try to shrink this. Actually, I'll enlarge this screen a little bit. See if that helps you guys. Let me see if I can do that here. All right. So we are in the main page here. Let me expand this. All right. We're going to have some more help videos, but when you guys log in, you should have Launchpad here. There is my mug down here. It's a quick Loom video. They told me to shoot some videos. I didn't even know where they were going. So, but we're going to do more. I think I just did a skip trace one. And I think, and like, guys, Pace, the vision for Pace saying this. Now, community members can attest to this and community members will be benefiting from this, but he wants everybody in here. He wants Uncle Lanza in here doing his thing. Hey, there's a help me video. Hey, look who it is. It's Uncle Lanza going on here telling us about X, Y, and Z about deal sauce and how it's benefiting him. Or maybe he has some strategy that he wants you guys to know about, or some search feature or something special he's doing. So I want everybody to have their own little help me video or tutorial. And that's going to be the cool part. Again, we're in freshman year right now. So right away though, let's go right into property search.
Just while you're doing that, one of the things that's exciting about that is, like, when you're in the freshman year, when you're in the launch phase of these things, like, we have the ability to make this what we wanted to be together, right? So, I mean, it's already a powerful tool, but by the same token, like, our input of, like, it wouldn't be cool if we could do this or, so that's, to me, that's part of the excitement of being, like, in on the ground floor of something like this. It's like, we can make this what we want it to be, right? So it's
for sure.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, you said it. Like, I think of that of everything we do, whether or not you want to go into Owners Club or you want to join this or do that, if you don't let it be a distraction, I always try to get on the ground floor of things like that, because it's so raw, it's so good, and you can get into the ground level. Next thing you know, it's $200 a month, but you're like still paying $110, whatever it is a month. Same thing. So I put San Francisco. I understand San Francisco is going to be very unique.
It's unique, but it's also, it's a place that you can do deals. I mean, we did our first deal here and about a week ago, right before Christmas, my daughter did a great deal here, like very lucrative deal. So
I remember seeing the post about that.
Yeah.
So would it be okay if I did a custom search though? If I didn't want just these boundaries, could I come down here or can I draw a line? Would that be okay? Would we do deals down here too?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So this is the cool feature that I actually like and enjoy as a deal finder myself, as a deal, we do deals. I don't really care for boundaries. And I think that's the thing too, is like telling me no. All right, I'm going to do the opposite. But I know other providers, you had the opportunities to go up to 250 miles. Now, I don't think this is going to be 250 miles. However, guys, I want to tell you that, we're going to go cross into Oakland and we're going to go hit all the way over here. And what I'm doing is just drawing this box. So you don't watch this. And then we're going to go out
in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Look at that.
Yeah, we're going to go try to find some. Well, look at this
islands out there.
Like
there are a couple islands off of the coast of San Francisco, but they're not inhabited. So only by birds.
So, the cool feature about that, I like having the custom search feature, guys. So we just did what we wanted there. All right, boom. And I mean, really, we can go into AI. As quick as that, we can go AI, anything, just to give the list, right? 500 and above.
Are you pulling any particular list from this area right now, or?
Nothing right now. So I think what we have here, let's go backwards. So right now it's up, it's active buyers. So let's just see what I come up with, just that organic search.
Okay.
And then we're going to go back here for a second.
So now this is identifying buyers in my area.
This is going to identify buyers. And the one thing that on the default right now that we don't have on here is owner type. excuse me, is going to be, where is it? Right, property. It always takes off land and mobiles. Now, land I can understand. Mobiles, I might put that back on for the defaults because I don't know, mobiles are I freaking like mobiles on land. I just bought one.
Yeah.
You know, like honestly, so although they might not be any downtown or in San Francisco itself, but I do know there's some on the outskirts. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'll take the land off for now, guys. But let's see what comes back. So we have 579,000 records. All right, let's whittle that down though. So
wait, this is for buyers?
This is just for properties that we have under that just general broad. In the box that I wrote, this box here, we're going to go with mobiles, apartments, townhomes, singles, condos, multis, other. For general purposes, for records, right? It's not going to do commercial. We don't have all the commercial stuff in there. You know, big complexes, apartment buildings, those things will not be listed on here. This is for residential, more or less. And then what we'll do is we'll go, and again, it's only in those boundaries. But guys, we have all this retail score, rental score, and wholesale. And Uncle Lanza, I don't know if you went into this at all, but, and for the audience out there, this is the AI. This has zero human interaction. It's all records from either as far back as the 1980s. So they look at people data. They look at people moving in and out of addresses. They look at people, credit scores, credit cards, purchase. If you're making a bunch of purchases, you're spending money, all those things. However, that AI aggregates the data, and every month the people data gets better. So in this studies, we've had the studies now. I've been into this software for a year and I've come, you know, grown with these companies that are providing some of the AI technology in the background. And every month they show the data being fine tuned. And it's really cool to see. Again, I'm more or less on the outside looking in, but I can see that the progression is getting better. And guys, if you haven't heard of AI, I mean, you've been living under a rock. So our businesses should only get easier and the data is going to get scary because we're going to be on some of this data too. No matter, you know, you fill out a mortgage app. We're doing refinances right now on a few of our assets. Although I try to hide the number, my phone still rings and it's a pain in the butt. And immediately it's like you hit click and then next thing you know, people are asking you for mortgages. So just think of someone in the other side of this. So what we're going to do here is this is wholesale. I went through it, rental and retail. Retail, we know these are most likely to go on market. 999 to 1,000 rather is the most likely for any of these. Down to 1 is the less likely to sell on market, less likely to sell to a landlord as a rental, less likely to sell at a discount on the wholesale score. So anything 500 and above is that tipping point. So let's just go with, I can see some numbers up here. I can see some little numbers there. So let's go to, I don't know, 700 score is a minimum. Ooh, what's going on here? No, we don't want 70. We want 700. Let's see what comes back. So 1,800 properties we've whittled that 500,000 down to 1,800 properties. Ooh, oh, I moved that. I'm so sorry. What happens when you draw bigger pictures, though, I will tell you, when you draw bigger outlines, it does consume a lot of data. That's the one thing I bet you that some of those other providers don't do. But again, we like searching for deals. So next thing you know, we can search by AI score. So with that same wholesale score, let's ascend and descend. Let's start from the worst and work our way down. Look, we got 1,000 score here. So clearly there's an absentee owner, high equity, HOA lien, and tax, you know, government lien. Yeah. But I don't see pre-foreclosure on there. And, you know, I can't tell you that that's still, maybe someone didn't go after it yesterday and block it up yesterday, but guys, we're aggregating the data now. And the cool thing you'll see here is that you might see someone without any of these features and you go like this one, you go, interesting. You're a 997 with high equity only. I don't see pre-foreclosure. I don't see tax liens. I don't see deceased. What is going on? That's like the one question I'm always going when I see someone with 0. So that intrigues me on like, why this property? And sometimes you look at this, look at these scores. Something clearly is going on.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, public data wise, we really can't see. I can't really see what's going on. But guys, as you can tell here, we're pulling all right. So they did have a pre-foreclosure or a notice of rescission 8/28/24.
Mm-hmm.
Notice of foreclosure sale. So there is probably something there, but the pre-foreclosure now it might be gone because that was an 8. So we're not going to continue to still show pre-foreclosure if that has been abated, right?
Yeah.
So there's some issues there, but that's the thing. You can see a pattern now. So you just dig into it. But clearly, since 8 to now, we don't want to really show you can go see pre-foreclosures if you choose to, and you can bring that as a filter. We can go back to a year, 5 years if you wanted, but I don't want to bring that data up, right? We don't want to bring up misinformation too much because they could have resolved it, or it could have been sold already, and that we don't want. So how does the AI credit zip only work? It says 1, but does it work everywhere? 1 zip. Chris, what you're going to see on this demo here, you're going to see my account that I have full access to because I wouldn't be able to go into San Francisco and help Vincent out if I had my 1 zip code or my 1 county. But we do have different packages. I think they're going to be releasing different packages for different AI. Uncle Lanza, if you don't know what I'm saying, is Chris in the comments was talking about AI. Now, we don't have AI nationwide available for just the basic package.
Yeah.
The data providers, we tried. I do think there's a small hack that we allowed in. I don't know if I'm going to announce it on this one, but our quick features, I'll divert a little bit. Our quick features here. Mm-hmm. We have some like Jamil's Jackpot Sauce, My Micro Family, Pace's Perfect Sauce, things like this. I believe, now I have to verify, I think we'll get some of these AI scores across the country. We'll just be limited on how we can filter it, guys, if that makes any sense. So Chris, I do think there's some hacks and some workarounds that we were able to weave in. So we didn't just get, regulated on a basic subscription plan for your AI, because we are conscious. We are trying to give the best product possible. But at the same time, there are people and providers that, we have to work with that don't want the information all out there for free, if that makes any sense. So there's some workarounds to the AI, but for all intents and purposes, I'm showing you how I can do one search feature if I had, just a county, right? Or even a town. We can aggregate it by the AI. We can aggregate it as a layer. We filter and stack the data. So back to this. So Uncle Lanza, that's just one way of really just getting to the root of the best list possible and working your way down, right?
Yeah.
So of course we can always we can get rid of the AI. All right. We can get rid of other mobiles, condos and townhomes. And for whatever market we're in, same thing. We can go to active listings, low equity. Still do the same thing. And we have 62 that are going to be, now we'd have to just make sure that we're going to be searching the same areas. And then we can do something like, and then we have all these features here, obviously, just quick last sale date. I think there's right down here, days on market. My screen's not showing it. So guys, if we're looking for properties that have been on for a while, let's go the other way. 1/31/23. Now, guys, you might get some of these listings on here too. Be mindful that I've bought a property in Rhode Island, for instance. It was one of the properties Pace just went to. We ended up having a little meetup there. I bought it. It was on market, or the person had it on market. It said it was still on it was still pending and or for sale for like 8 months after I had closed on it. So that's up to the agent or
yeah,
however they dictate it. So you might still see things like this on here on some of the really old stuff. I would just say the quickest way to doing that is we give you a Google button right here. Boom. Like you can go right to things and then you can go right back. So we want to make it really quick. If we wanted this property right here, if we liked it, you like what you see, just put it add to leads. Add to leads goes right in your bucket right here.
wow.
All right. So if you, and then you just keep going through your day, your morning, your day, whatever, build a list, throw them in your bucket, throw them in there, throw them in the list. You can take the list and do whatever you want with that. And I can show you the guys that later, but here's the cool part when we're on market. You don't need any excuse. Well, Uncle Lanza, tell me you have an excuse right now. We're on market, low equity. Let's just say this thing was on for whatever, 120 days, price dropping it. They're not selling. And we don't know if they spoke to the agent spoke about creative. So Stanley Lowe has the phone number. Here's an email. There's no excuse why you can't say you're getting a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone.
To somebody.
That's it.
This will do you no good if you don't pick up the phone and talk to somebody.
I mean, you don't have to leave here. I mean, the next best thing is like, if the information's not here and they maybe kept it somewhat private, sometimes they don't put their email. Yeah. You just go right in Google like I just did. I click the button and you can just even copy and paste the agent's name in here. So again, really quick, you don't have to stop, open up another browser, type in Google. No, it's just hit the button. So you can get comparables here. I won't go into that right this second, but you know, it's telling us 700 days on market, price drops, and then really what Deal Sauce thinks the value is. Now, Deal Sauce does its own algorithm, and it's pretty competitive with Zillow. We've been beta testing that. Like Zillow and other providers, they all use a lot of the same. It's tightening up as the years go. Like the Zillow price back in the day was so ludicrous, it was all over the place. Yeah. Yes, some markets are still wonky, but I know like they're getting really good within. I think we had a statistic recently. It was between like it was like 3 to 5% purchase price, like that, somewhere in there, 1 to 3% of the purchase price. So wholesale is usually about a 65% from this ARV or this retail, excuse me. Rental we're dialing more in, but giving you the range, showing the features. And yeah, like other properties, boom, you don't even have to click a button. That's the cool thing here. So we're going to tell you whatever is linked to this mailing address, what they potentially own is right here. I don't even want to have to guess. We don't have to click another button. I just want to peruse and see it. Again, another feature that I felt really like we need to see, because there's other stuff. When you're on the phone with someone, you can see their life oftentimes play out on these cards, on these property. So you get your basic statistics, everything we've seen before. And again, down here, mortgages, transactions. I mean, this has 4 pages. I won't give you guys all the nonsense, but I mean, when you're on a phone with somebody, you can literally walk through and be like, hey, catch me up to speed. So, all right, there was, on 21, you did something, and then there was something in, what's that, August? What happened there? Or what's going on? You pulled a line of credit? So good stuff there. That's your typical property card on market. Again, no excuses is really what I wanted to get to. Is having that agent information.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Any
that
questions?
house in that area is like one of the most expensive areas in my area. It's called Hillsborough. So it's like there's some really nice expensive houses in that area.
All right. I have a Hillsborough here in New England, and it is not as nice as that. I can tell you that. It's exactly how it sounds. All right. So, I mean, guys, we could do anything here, right? We can go anywhere. I mean, I have Phoenix up because that's HQ for Mr. Morby. Yeah. But here's the cool part. Actually, I didn't start off with. It's not that. It's the whole state. Other providers, you can't search the whole state. And guys, you can go like this too. I can bring 2 states up. I think I can even go like up to 3 or 4 states. We can't even get one on PS. I won't say the full name. All right. I can't, that makes me like drives me up a wall because especially in New England, where I am, Boston, right? Uncle Lanza, you can go 1 hour and go in 6 states.
Yeah.
So I actually want to see what that looks like. And then I get cut off with 250 miles. So it cuts me off when I draw the custom map. Then, so I can literally just type in a bunch of states and I bet you I can go something like this. Let's see if I can bring in New Hampshire. I've never done this. I'm gonna try to break it. 25,000 low equity listings, and then just a few of these. Again, we'll have to go through it all, but guys, pretty awesome that we can do the whole state. That's what I really wanted to talk about. All right. Any questions? And then we can also look in the side chat just to make sure that we're not missing anything. What's up, Eric? Click on the price on the map and it will take you to the listing. Oh, nice. Yeah. All right. What else do we have in here?
People are going to start telling us how to use it, right?
Yeah, you can also, so, and Eric's inside of, we'll get to this part too, but Eric's on a friend of mine. He's up in your neck of the woods too. And he's also doing a lot of the private capital raising. He's been in here on the back end. He's actually literally trying to break it. He was sending me videos, I think like yesterday, the day before. I said, bro, go easy on me. Please don't break it too much. But that's on the private notes and the private money lending, which is a really cool component.
Yeah. I'm curious. I mean, that since you brought that up, I'm curious. I know I had heard that you would be able to find lenders through the software. So maybe you want to just do a little bit of dive into that.
Absolutely. Whatever you want. So I'm sure the style and aesthetics, I don't have to bring up the obvious, just keeping you on your toes. Thanks, bud. So guys, we might change the verbiage up in here. This might get sexied up. You're going to see a lot of changes throughout this time, but right now we're going to go find fix and flippers because that was actually the one criteria point. That's all we had for a minute. We're like, hey, let's get the fix and flippers because fix and flippers are usually your wholesale. That's who you're going to if you got a good cash deal in that market. Find out who's the cash buyer, right? Yeah. And the cool component about that is now we can. The only thing about now this side of it, now Eric and I did find a hack around this the other night, but we cannot use the whole state search feature on this side of the fence. That I will say, but you're really not going to want that anyway.
Yeah. No, you don't really need that you need a geographical area for something like that anyway. So.
Exactly. And what we did, we found a way to work around it, but flippers right here is the one thing. Now, guys, this is an additional feature to my understanding. I'm going to put in the side chat, just support. I should actually run it as a reel at the bottom. Support at dealsauce.io. That's for any problems, any issues, any things you guys are encountering, please keep that. Just keep that handy. The other thing I want to show you guys, one second. All right, we'll get that later. All right. So we searched Phoenix and Uncle Lanza said he wanted a private money lender. So he's currently looking for, he might be buying Pace's neighbor. He might be buying, house next door. Oh, the house that just caught fire earlier the year. Uncle Lanza's going to buy it and rebuild it. All right. So he's looking for a private money lender in this 792 right now that it's showing. Now, for Scott's always at the top of the heap. But guys, you can see here, Scott has 81 deals funded. Now, you can filter this by time frame. So you can say, what did Scott or who's funded deals in the last 12 months? And then number of deals, let's say minimum of 2. $34 people have funded the minimum of 2 deals and in the last year. Now, guys, this is only deals funded in Phoenix. So, if don't look at, and this is their mailing address, this is the person's address too. So you might see Long Beach, California. You're going to see Cave Creek. You will see other areas here.
So what we're looking at, just so I'm clear, is those are people that actually funded deals in the Phoenix area.
Yes, sir. And we'll bring it up right now.
Yeah.
So Rose or Adrian Rose, I can't, we don't know which. We have landlords. So portfolio size could be one property they own. They could potentially have 2 notes. And we talk about what each of these, line items are. Note holders are investors in purchasing mortgage notes and deeds of trust. Private lender insights. They're providing the loans to real estate investors. Total amount funded, $52 million. Average deal, $1.8 million or 1.9 almost. So like we can see here that we can click on, what is this, fair? What is it, fair something? Fairfax? Fair amount. Let's go down and see. We're looking for, what is it, Adrian Rose or Rose Adrian. So what we'd come down here in transactions, loans. Let's look for Adrian or Rose. $2013. So it could be Kind Lending. I just want to see, maybe that's their brand or their name, right?
Yeah.
So some of that. And this is where we're going, and this is where Eric's breaking things. He's going in and looking.
So this would pull up private money lenders. This would also pull up, like, if they're lending through an LLC, or if it would also probably pull up hard money lenders as well, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
All the above.
Here, let me see if we can do this one. I want to see what name there is, because you do need to start figuring out which name they are. Robert, Western Alliance, Nellie James. And then you would start sometimes see the same name going over. I don't know why I'm not seeing theirs here. Hold on here. I may have gotten stuffed by a weird one here.
That will happen.
Well, yeah. So we have 31 properties, but they have 28 funded. So that's the one thing for me going out, I'm looking at. So it's Adrian Rose M, or again, guys, it could be all over. Now I want to see, these are the investor portfolios. These are properties linked to the investor. This is where we have to dig. So you can call, we know that Adrian's doing something. We just need to understand what that something is. We have to do a little bit of CSI, and that's what I'm trying to allude to. Like it could be as easy as clicking the button, because we've done that plenty of times. We've clicked the property and you're going to smack you right in the face. You're going to see Adrian Rose or Adrian M. Rose. And you're going to see it. Often other times you might see something where it's another LLC, or they might have another business attached, and you're just not going to know that LLC or the lending partner. So we just have to do a little bit of CSI work. So let's go again. I'm going to try to see if I can find something here. I keep saying Nellie James. I keep seeing this name on all the stuff. So there's something there to that, because I think that's the second or third time I've seen that name. So again, we'd have to go a little bit deeper. We can go back and find someone that might be a little bit. I know Scott Gould was in there. Like Scott, I think you're going to see his stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Big money lender. And he lent money to Jerry Norton's brother, I think is what it was.
Okay.
So I ended up just randomly finding it here. It may have even been this one. And Pace is like, hey, yeah, Pace goes, the Nortons tried to sell me this piece of property. So you'll see it right here. Norton Development. And that's the Norton's Scott Gould lender. So I confirmed by just giving this and just going on here organically. It wasn't even planned. And Pace is like, I know about that deal.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was confirmation, guys. So trying to show you that this person is lending everywhere. And we just found him lending in Montana to the Nortons, and he's in Phoenix as well. So pretty awesome stuff. But to keep going, you can do this custom search feature here, and you can go around. That's how we were realizing we can almost break it a little bit more. So there are some cool options here that, they probably put you in a box for a reason, guys. And you have to think like the software developers put you in a box for a reason, because we need to be there needs to be cookie cutter things, because we can't just have the Wild West in the software. However, SubTo, we're the Wild West in a way of like, we're the experts, we're the good, top of the cream of the crop. So let's keep going, because we're looking for private money lenders or whatever it is we're looking for. Uncle Lanza, I said a lot there. What, anything that you want me to pause on?
I mean, I think what we're getting to is like, there's just so much here, right? Like, and we're not going to be able to learn all of it in one day, but just the fact that like we can find buyers on this software. We can find direct to seller deals. We can find direct to agent deals. We can find private money lenders. I mean, I named 4 things that it can do. Like, is there something else that significant that you would like to mention to me that it can do that I'm not aware of? Or
I will get into some of those things too. So I just, for the sake of that, because we'll conclude out of here, we'll move on out of this side of the business. So this side of it. But I went to Fix and Flippers. I mean, look, I was very surprised to see this. I haven't seen these. You have to go click on properties on some of the other providers, and you have to go find these people.
Yeah.
That's the one thing, you're paying for convenience here. That's what I really want to preface. Like, I can tell you and I wish I should be able to bring Eric on. I should bring him up here, but you guys are going to hear enough of him like all the time. But Eric was literally going into Deal Sauce when it was brand new, and it was an infant. And we were like, hey, I think we can go find private money lenders, but it wasn't aggregating the data. It wasn't displaying it like it is 1 through freaking 3013. He had to go click on all these properties, and that was mind numbing. He wasted a lot of time. And look at this open door. I think Zillow. Yeah, Zillow is up here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You can't just call Mr. Open Door, but the hedge funds that are providing for them.
Yeah. I mean, like, one of the things that we do in our business is like on the dispo side is like, we're just constantly making new relations with buyers and adding more buyers. I mean, even, we have deals that we're selling, day in and day out, but even if we're not, like, we're still calling buyers every day to add them to our list to get their buy boxes. So, I mean, you can just use something like this to like, hey, who are the fix and flippers in the area that I'm working in? Okay, let me just get on the phone and call 10 of them today. But that's something that we do. We actually have 2 people that do minimum 10 every day. So we're adding like 20 new buyers, 100 new buyers to our list 5 days a week. So
love that. Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's what the name of the game is here. And that's just for Phoenix, guys. That's the misleading thing here, Uncle Lanza. So it's like, we're just searching for properties here. I did the same search, and I found some of my partners. I even found my partners on their LLCs that we've done deals together on properties that I brought them up in their name. I'm like, oh, look at Alexa, you're here. And my other partner, Dave, he was on, and that was, 1 year, flipped properties in that one town. That doesn't mean, like, if I haven't flipped in the last year in just Phoenix, but I've flipped Mesa, Chandler, Glendale, I'm still a flipper in the area.
Yeah.
And I'm still probably going to do a good deal. I just maybe haven't found my Phoenix in the last 12 months because maybe I just didn't get the right deal. So you can then, again, go wide. We're going to go over, the boundaries here. I want to break it for people. I want to show that we're doing some cool things here. And I may have just broken it. Who knows? But like, you can tell we're going to go there's a reason why we're going to go far and wide. But it will bring it up. No doubt about it. And whether it's this example or the next, that's the cool, look at, boom, we're getting there.
Oh yeah. There you go.
All right. It just says 88, but we went from 33 to 88. We just did a random search, and we fine tuned that search criteria. So I just want to show folks that, yeah, there's more to this. So, all right. I won't do landlord and we won't go through note holders, but there's some other features we're going to be dialing in even further to maybe find some seller finance opportunities, find some other unique opportunities. And that feature, for anyone who's looking to upgrade for that, we had a button put here. They call it residential investor leads bundle. Right now, guys, it's a lifetime. You purchase once and it's a lifetime. As long as you have deal sauce, it's that lifetime. It will stay there. So if you and your team use it, it's a lifetime membership. So pretty cool for that. All right, let's get out of here. So one feature you did ask about, what else we have is commercial. So commercial is going to be, just what it is. All the same stuff we can usually typically go for. We're going to have our mobile home parks, our self-storage. Our community is diverse. And Uncle Lanza, I said earlier, when Pace brought this on, and Jamil, there's some other outfits, other coaching programs and other coaches out there. And I'm talking there's a lot of them out there. And these are folks I never knew. But I ended up hanging out and collaborating with this small group, and they're doing just tax liens and fix and flips. There's probably 400 of them, give or take. I don't know exactly. Great people, smart. That's all they do. Try building. So their software, their package is residential. It's small. They don't care about anything else. Fix and flip, comps, and give me some residential data and some tax data. So imagine now we come along, Pace comes in, Jamil comes in. He's like, yeah, we need everything. We have to cover all the bases because our community is so diverse.
Yeah, exactly. So many people do so many different things. I mean, just about any part of real estate, commercial, RV parks, self-storage, mobile home parks, land, single family stuff. I mean, it's just everything, like literally everything. Like in our community, there's people that do all of those things.
Yeah. So I told them, I go, guys, we are not just, and I think they thought that coming in, some of the developers and some of the software developers that we were, tasking, collaborating with, saying, hey, this is what we need. This is who we are. That was a lot of the job of what I had to do. It was, being a representative of the community, which is hard in a sense of you're trying not to, we have to cover a lot of bases. So it's, what do you get first? And I told him, I said, if we put something out that's residential only, we cannot do that. So mobile home parks, we got it all in here. It's the same thing. But I was amazed that I had to put my shoes on, meaning like I had to put shoes on the other feet, going, wow, there are folks that don't want to see all that other stuff. Like, how could you not want to see all that stuff? I want to know that I can get it. So anyway, we can go get all that stuff. We do not have at the moment AI inside the commercial. I believe it is potentially being developed. Not potentially, it is being developed right now.
Yeah.
Again, guys, I'm not going to give you any promises. I do not control that area. I don't know if that's a thing, but I do know that you can pull up someone's profile on a commercial built property, and you'll get some AI algorithms if they own other assets. So you can almost put their whole portfolio together, and it will actually arrange. You might be able to see some AI stuff in their portfolio that might have residential components to it, is what I'm trying to say. So you can see some of the other stuff, even from the commercial side, which is unique. So, all right. Sorry, my Bluetooth is going on.
Hey, speaking of that, just I don't know, just a thought came up to me. So let's say in the single family space, you're looking for somebody that does have a portfolio of properties. How would you go about doing that?
Sure. So you want to see if you can find like just a portfolio of who they are, what they have?
Yeah. I'm like, and rather than just hitting up somebody that owns one property, like, I'm looking for somebody that maybe owns whatever, 5, 10, 15 properties.
All right. Let's go back to the residential side. Let's go over to, I don't know, Florida. How's that?
Yep. That's one of the states I work in.
So Florida. Oh, all right. Before we get there, don't let me forget. However, all right, the cool thing here, Uncle Lanza, I talk about it like it's Amazon sponsored ads, right? So when I buy a lot of things from Amazon, a lot of people do, right? You go on the top and you have to filter through some of the sponsored stuff because sometimes they get you not a great product, but it's at the top of the heap. I look at it that way, not saying these are bad products, but these are sponsored wholesale deals. They either paid to be up here or they're advertising their deals at the top. So if I'm a buyer, now whether you're a buyer or a seller or a bird dog, investor to me is an investor. You should have this software. You should have some software to, even if you're buying a piece of property, you want to be able to research it, right? Look in the back end. So this is perfect. I love this. Now, if I was buying in Cape Coral, oh crap. All right. This is a wholesale deal. What's going on here? And then you can go contact the wholesaler. Get more information. And guys, you might be able to use that, like, again, off the cuff. There's your buyer's list too. Or there's your reverse wholesaling. There's people, hey, do you have any of these deals? You can contact them for other things, I would imagine. Have I done that? No. But, again, use your brain. Think a little bit deeper. Let's go, CSI, as I call it. Do a lot of different things. All right. So we're going to look for a portfolio. Let's go down. It's like, have I done that yet? Let's go and see if we just want multis. Others. We'll go mobile homes. I know there is. We can search by definitely their name. So if we do know someone's an investor name, now I won't be able to bring this one up, but we can search there. We can do all our loan to value stuff here, mortgages, loan to value, mortgage interest rates. So listings, days on market, keywords, distress. I know we're not getting there, but just going through these things here, previous sale. Going through previous sales, you can minimize it that way, and then the foreclosure. So if we're going to go find a portfolio, I think the best case is if you know someone's, we have to just go to a landlord. See, I don't do this all the time on that side of things. But this, again, I'm still going through my demo phases too, I guess we can call it.
Yeah.
So let's do, I bet you we can go with, I was going to try to do it in residential, but I know we can. 1 second, guys. Let's go landlord. And we're going to go landlord in Naples, Florida.
Okay.
I own a house there.
Oh, you do?
I do.
That's awesome. My sister has a place there too.
I got to get back there. I'm a little cold over here in the Northeast.
Yeah, she went down there for Christmas. She lives in Long Island, so she was like, spend Christmas in Florida.
Come on, baby. All right, so we have 64,000 now. Portfolio size, Uncle Lanza.
Yeah.
Heritage, you're going to get the big dogs too, right?
Yeah.
So let's go filter this down.
Cool. So there's actually a thing that comes up and tells you what the portfolio size is.
Oh yeah, that's the cool thing too. Portfolio size, portfolio value, appreciation. Oh, red flags are distress. So they have something in their portfolio that's distressed right now. Distress could be like a pre-foreclosure or some sort of tax lien, or so you can go even, a cool thing that we talked about that. Even the private money lenders or the note holders, guys, if they're lending money to someone and they're foreclosing on that person, we can actually see the red flags if they're going through a judicial process. Who's to say that we can't swoop in there and save that property or take over or get that mortgage or lien or loan creatively or work it out with that private money lender?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's so many different ways we can slice this cake to find opportunities. So let's filter by, because actually we're playing in a territory that I should be playing more in, but I've been so focused on the residential and more or less the private money lending side of things just for folks. Let's go the last, man, I don't want to do 10 years, and we'll probably do something, owns distressed property. Let's do that. And we'll say there's a minimum of or maximum of 25 properties. Because I want to talk to a small guy.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel Garcia, 110th Ave, Blue Dog, Habitat for Humanity. Is that what it said? Oh, yeah.
And all of those red flags mean that there's something going on with the property.
Yeah. Their portfolio
or at least one of the properties that they have in their portfolio.
So I don't know why that's showing that large. Maybe I messed up on my search criteria, but look at this. Now, if we went through this, there should be a red flag next to their name, next to their portfolio, next to the asset, I should say. But you do have to be careful on some of these. I will say this, because if you have someone who has a very similar address, like a PO box, that or a UPS store is where I've seen it, because a UPS store, something I have, I like it because, and I think this is a slice out of Pace Morby's pie, Uncle Lanza, is that, it's not a PO box. It's a real address. Just like a resident agent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I have a UPS store address myself. Yeah. So.
And if you choose to remove, or I know when they record some properties, I know if you look at my address for the UPS, it's seven different addresses, it says. So I'll come up in 7 different areas or 7 different search criteria. So they will look at the mailing address for a lot of it too, and combine with that person's name. So I just want to preface that, you could stumble on something that might be a few investors, but that's okay. Just again, some of this is the digging you have to do anyway. But same thing here. I bet you. Oh yeah, because that's great in Naples that comes out here. I'm sure we can do a search feature and probably include Fort Myers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's really how I would search for investors. No, sorry. The residential side, Chris, go easy on me, Chris.
What's he at?
It was more or less, I think he's like, can we do it on the residential side? Yes, I believe there are ways to do it. Now, what you should be able to do is, if you go and find, now, if we just went and searched for multifamily, and I think what I'll do is, let me write this down. Portfolio. I'll make a video for it.
Okay.
What I can do is I'll create the ingredients for this. And that's what I have to do, guys. So it's great that we do this together, because you're giving me ammunition for a tutorial. You're giving me ammunition to go, all right, we're going to try to break the system. You're going to break me. Let's put the ingredients together. If we don't have it, let me put it together, because there's one thing that I did find is that, yes, we can go find the private money lenders. We can go find the note holders. We can sure, you can get all that same information on the back end without paying for the upgrades and the additional features. But again, what's your time versus clicking a button of 3 buttons? Eric spent a better part of a quarter of a year to a half a year kicking around off and on the first phase of this before we aggregated it all together. Mm-hmm. And now he just gets to click 3 buttons and click in a town or a city. So some of these, there's workarounds and that they're advantageous for it. Others, I would say, just get the upgrade if you're going to use it, all the time.
Yeah. I mean, one of the, you just say, in kind of having, the first look at this and everything, one of the things that I'm seeing that's really cool is, all the other softwares we use, like, we're just really using them to get data about things that we're looking at for the most part, right? This one has so many more possibilities of just opening up, just opening up things that we can do and get creative about how we can actually find deals, And so, in other words, like, we have a certain software that we go to, like, okay, this is the software that we mostly use to get comps, right? This is the software that we use to find out, like, if we're doing a creative deal, like, what's the mortgage date and stuff. But this to me, it's more, I don't know what the exact word I want to use, but it's more like interactive, of like, get your brain thinking of like, oh, I can use this to find a deal. I can use this to find a deal. I can use this to find a deal. So I'm really loving that aspect of it. Like, it's really opening up your mind to all the different ways that you can identify how to find deals, which is really why it's called Deal Sauce, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I saw a comment in there. about where is what is this called? Dallas. The name of the software is called Deal Sauce. This is, if you don't know Pace Morby in Dallas, hey, welcome. Dallas, Les. You're talking to Justin Tuminowski and Vincent Lanza, Uncle Lanza. And he is, we're just going through Deal Sauce. This is Pace Morby's. If you don't know Pace Morby, look him up. Jamil Damji. This is their software. And we're just fortunate enough to just kick around and have a little demo on here just as friends and collaborators and users of it. But yes, I like that you said that. It's really you're becoming your own cook. And I'm not trying to use cheesy ingredient food references, but at the end of the day, you're kind of cooking with all these different recipes, and whatever concoction you make, that is what I was talking about. And I like that you elaborated on that. And there are workarounds. Like, for instance, again, I did this search before. Now, guys, it's going to pick up properties up here in Virginia. It's going to pick up properties all the way down here in Savannah, Georgia. All right. And then through South Carolina, North Carolina. What's the difference between the other providers? I saw someone ask that. That one feature right there to me is the game changer. That's for me because I'm a deal finder. I want a beach property or a coastal property on the eastern seaboard, and I don't have to go by state, by little area, by county, by town. Are you kidding me? I want to bash my head against the wall if I had to do that. I get to click a button, then figure out what ingredients I want to add to it. I did absentee owners with an AI. Are you kidding me? Let's go find someone distressed, Uncle Lanza.
Okay.
On the eastern seaboard, I'm just doing a ludicrous search right now. No plan. 800 score. So anyone who hasn't looked at who was with us prior, we have AI algorithm that's going to, based on people data, it's going to show likely distress. So 1,000 is the most distress you can possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
1 is the least. So you have retail, rental, wholesale. Wholesale is most likely to sell at a discount within 90 days. And then there's a level to that. So we're going to put 800 is the minimum. We want to see some of the best. Well, you got a wholesale deal up here in Fayetteville.
The distress to distress, which in our business is so important because, so many people are like, deals, like, okay, I got a deal. And like the question I always ask people, like, it's like we do a lot of JV stuff and other stuff, like, what's the motivation? They're like, this is a great deal. I'm like, yeah, but what's their motivation? Like, and they're like, well, they're not really motivated. I'm like, oh, we're in for a tough road ahead.
Yeah, we are. Or you haven't dug in and found the bunnies yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And this is going to help you get somewhere near there, but you might find someone who doesn't have one of these characteristics, and you actually have to talk to people. You have to figure it out. So this is what I like. It brought up everything from South Carolina, south. I mean, I know we're seeing north here as well. So, and again, that wholesale deal in Fayetteville, smack dead center, right at the top. We can filter by, who knows? I mean, mortgage rates now. We can layer it. Let's say, well, I'm going to try to look for that SubTo deal too. And I only want individuals. All right. And then you can layer this cake so many different ways. In the mortgage rate maximum, I want 5%. 131 across the board. All right. We're getting there. So, guys, I mean, whatever you want to develop, you can pretty much go after. And that's what I'm going to try to do and try to give everybody a little cheat sheet. I don't have it completed yet, but we're going to do a cheat sheet on some of the best search features, some of the things that we might do. And I'd like to go out to the industry leaders and some of the folks that are doing different things and say, hey, give me something that you want to find, like something that I might not be looking for. I might not be the best fit. Let me go find it for you guys. We'll put that little ingredients. We'll do a cookbook. How's that? We'll call it a cookbook.
Yeah.
And we'll put it together and put it out there so we can have some really cool stuff to look at. All right. Uncle Lanza, I did that. What else would you want to see? Would you want to do something different? Underwriting?
Yeah. Okay.
So what we can do here, let me just make sure I'm going through all the features for you. We went through some of the fix and flip, the commercial stuff, same thing. You guys, we can cut that up, different ingredients for the commercial data. Residential, you have everything here. If you wanted foreclosures, we can go through the foreclosures. You can get custom ranges from the last dates that they got served. Previous sale. I like to do senior owners. So I like to do years of ownership, maybe on a multifamily side, you know, 10, 15 years. That's a little simple one. Search an area, individual owners, mom and pop, multifamily owners, over 15. I've even gone up to 20, 25 years if we can get it.
Yeah.
And guys, they're saying, hey, I'm done. I want to liquidate, or I want to sell off. So those are really great seller finance, hybrid type situations. You know, co-living, our friends, a lot of co-living right now, Uncle Lanza, in our community, right? A lot of co-living.
Yeah.
Bedroom counts, you know, let's go look up, you know, bedroom counts, square footage, all those things. So all the basic stuff, valuations. There's even a place where you could do a profitability calculator where how much you want to make on a deal, because, or how much you want to buy at. So if you're going on market and you say, hey, I want everything with, you know, below 20% equity, or that it's estimating, it will show you deals that are below, you know, the estimated value. I like that. All right, guys, on the side chat, I see Eric's doing some things customizable by co-living. Catherine, what's going on? Hey, Catherine, since we just talked about co-living, let me do that. I'll pivot really quickly for that. Let me clear some of these features out. Just start fresh. And we'll pick a market. We'll go, we'll do North Carolina since we're here. Let's go active listings, low equity. And what we're going to do, we're going to filter by bedroom count. So let's see if there's anything with a 5-bed minimum. All right, let's take a look here. And then we're going to go back. 117. Oh, it's, you know what? It's still showing my little search criteria. I apologize. But you know what? Cool. We're going to go find something on the Eastern Seaboard that's co-living. How's that? So Chesapeake, Virginia. We've actually done deals in that nice area of Virginia. Hampton, Virginia. That's, I think there's military there. Norfolk military. Jacksonville. We've done deals there. So yeah. 4,500 square foot. Been on the market since October. Let's go check it out. Or maybe it's not. Okay, so let's look at it. I can see that there may be another property that they own. Telling you, so anyone out there looking for that investor, Uncle Lanza asked about finding other portfolios, other properties. Well, it's going to smack you with one, even if you're not asking for it. It's going to tell you. And let's go. I mean, they got a construction loan, 23. Just got to go digging. That's how I would find co-living if it were me. You can go by zoning. I think there's some ways we're going to go into a little bit deeper. I think on the commercial side of things, we can go into actually looking for the zone code. However, I probably wouldn't play in that field unless it was a specific area. Let's say I was in Mesa, Arizona, and I wanted to go, hey, I want to get properties like land, right? You want to land deals, you need specific zoning. You go, hey, I want to find stuff with this, I don't know, mixed use area. You can go in that area and go type in the mixed use code if you know it. And if you don't know it, we're going to put together a little bit of a, you know, you'll be able to customize yourself where we can go, hey, I'm a Deal Sauce user. I'm going to reach out to support. And hey, guys, I actually want to, can you include this zoning code? Can you pull the specific zoning code for me and they'll add that. They told me that they would start doing that. Now I can't, they're probably going to kill me that I'm promising to like 25,000 members or however many people like in our community sign up for this. But they did say that they have to go broad on a lot of things too, because you can't imagine going across the country, guys, how many zoning codes or lack thereof there are. Zoning, they change by residential, single family. So they will give you that search criteria if you actually can narrow it down, which is pretty awesome. Again, we're not going to a hedge fund that owns a conglomerate that owns, you know, a software. You're going to Pace Morby, not going to him, but you're going to his people. You know, you're a community, your peers, equals. So pretty awesome. All right. I'm off on that co-living tangent, Uncle Lanza. So, all right. Anyone who's still following, please, the side chat, I'll try to do my best at going in here. Love the calculators. All right. So Chris is probably our analytic. I like that. And probably a fellow Polak too. So shout out to my Polish friends. So
why, what's Chris's last name?
Wojowski. I'm probably butchering it too. Those Polish names are hard. Lithuanian. We're going to go in and talk about that. We're going to go to portfolios. Uncle Lanza, have you explored any of this side yet?
No, like I said, this is new to me, right? I'm aware of like that it exists, and I just signed up, so you're blowing my mind with all this stuff. I'm sure there's no way we can go over all of it in one session. I feel like we're gonna have to do multiple sessions on this thing. But
oh, for sure, and that's all good. Let me take this comment off, and let me see if I can actually do that. I'm going to take us off the screen, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more because there might be some extra line items in here. All right, so we are in the portfolio side. So guys, when you were in the property side and you had a property, I'll give you the example. Earlier, we put in that Hillsborough one that Uncle Lanza said, you know, it was out next to his neck of the woods out in California. It's a really nice area. He said, you know, he wants to go after it. He wants to underwrite it. He has them on the phone right now. They said, you know what, Vincent, I like you. You came to my house. We're going to get you this. How many $1 million house?
$6 million.
$6 million house. It's yours. And I'm going to sell finance it to you at 0% interest. And he's going to say, all right, cool. What can I do with it? I'm going to go, I already talked to him and I'm not going to skip trace it. I don't need to mail them. He's going to send to his portfolio. And what's going to happen, you're going to get your portfolio screen. And now, forgive me, guys. Eric's in here. We had Molly and Jade in here. You're going to go to my portfolio. Doesn't exist, but if it exists, still import it. So it's importing. What you're getting now is, this is the other layer. This is the other system. We're also trying to give you another software. And there's more coming. But we're going to go into the portfolio. All right, so I'm going to do a little refresh because I have a lot open. Bam! Look at that, $68 million. Interesting. Is it 68 million? Probably is. So I don't know. It says that here. I don't know if that's accurate. I know it said 6 million on the wholesale calculator, so there could be a listing issue there.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say that you had him on the phone, and let's just say it was 6 million. As is value. Well, oh yeah, it's a really good deal. I need to do it as is value. It's probably, again, I'm making this up. As is, I'm getting this at a discount. It's 2.5 million at a discount. When it's all said and done, I got to put some money into it. Again, these numbers are going to break. I don't want that. It's going to be worth 10 million. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do here is it's rent. It's saying that's the ballpark rent. I don't know that, guys. I'm just going to leave that number for now. Obviously the daily rate's not $150, but at the numbers that it pulled over from what it knew from the from the property card. Now that's what we requested. This is all custom, mind you. This is no boilerplate. We built this together and there's more to come. We pulled all of what we know, this public information, a loan amount, the interest rate that they should have had at that time, give or take, mortgage payments, annual taxes, estimated remaining balance, all those numbers are here. Now, if you're on the phone with this person, they're telling you, oh yeah, my PITI. No, it's, no, it's 10,000. And I'm going slow here, guys, so bear with me. It's a 10,000 a month on the principal. My interest is only 5,000 though. The taxes are 15. I'll leave it because I don't know. but my insurance every month is $2,400 on that house, which is probably accurate. So, and that's the one component we wanted to add an algorithm in. I'm looking to actually hone that in even deeper because, guys, experience here, partners, friends, Uncle Lanza, maybe you can tell me, do you know anyone who has been burned on another provider's PITI thinking that insurance was actually included in the PITI or their estimated mortgage payment?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's, I mean, I know. Yeah. I mean, I hear people be like, oh, I got this deal. I thought it was a great deal. Oh no, but I didn't know that the insurance or the taxes were like as high as they were. And they're like,
yeah. And just like some folks forgetting brand new that they forget, like, hey, a flipper has to sell the property most often with an agent, and they forget to add that agent commission or closing costs. I understand it's experience and things happen. Well, that's what I was trying to prevent here as well. So a lot of things I want to put on here. I'm going to go into is I want to smack you in the face to show you, like, here, you cannot forget these numbers because I'm giving you the blank space to put it in, or to at least consider it. So even our entry price, anyone who's in creative finance, we talk about entry fees and percentages. So like the seller, they're looking for 200,000 down. The arrears, we're not catching anything up. I'm going to pay an agent or a fee to someone. It's going to be $50,000 because these are big numbers. We can say that's including in the assignment, and then our closing and TC. I don't know. It's going to be a $25,000 closing, which is probably small. But just right now, just by what I think this deal is going to cost me, my entry fee is going to be 4.5% of the purchase price. Now we might have to do a rehab that's going to be $1 million, so that's going to throw us up. But look at that, only 21%. So what we're doing here, guys, is giving you all the stuff. If you have hard money, private money, I want to just do dirty math, quick and dirty. That's all I'm just trying to get here. If you want a calculator, we're going to have calculators. You can have a zillion calculators out in the marketplace, guys. Everyone's got them for free on their Instagrams and their link trees, all that. Great. Every community's got them. Every engineer has built one. This is for quick and dirty.
Which is really important because that's at the end of the day, now what we're doing, we have an underwriter full-time on our staff, but we were just giving them so many things to underwrite, it just didn't make sense, right? So if you're just doing a quick underwriting, let's see if this even makes sense, right? And then, okay, we want to take a deeper dive into it. So then that's maybe when we're going to pass it to do some deeper dive underwriting, right? Because now we're actually talking about contracting this deal. Now we're actually talking about buying the deal. But this is so valuable to be able to just do a quick, look, see what's going on with the property, and then this makes it so easy because you're just filling in a bunch of fields, and then, gives you all the info you need. And also, like you were saying, reminds you of all the things you need to look at because, we forget things, or especially if you're new, you're just not aware of all the little details, right? If you're doing a fix and flip, you're not aware of all the little detailed things that go into the calculations.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just, this was meant to be, I was thinking, obviously not on a $6 million house. So this is some little quirk here that was ported over. I don't know if it's on our side, if it's on the listing side, but obviously it brought over the clean information over, which is great. So, but let's say that you're on the phone with someone, it's a house. Here's the other thing too, quick and dirty on your cash, max allowable offers. Now, I'm not going to fill in the numbers for you guys on this one, but TC fees, assignment fees, disposition, a fee that most people forget. You're going to start JVing and you have another person who sells your deals. So I also wanted those things to be here for you to think about. And then the other thing is always having someone's information here, whether it's the agent or the homeowner. Let's get right at it. There's no excuse why we shouldn't be. I always want to encourage calling. I always want to encourage you to be able to have the tools to just go get on the phone.
Yeah.
Talk to the homeowner. And furthermore, when you go into the card, you can still skip trace in here too. And I don't want to speak out of line. We're working on bringing skip tracing almost not even including it. And as far as you don't have to skip trace anymore, I'd like to click on a property and have all the skip trace done. Every property, just click on it. It's there. It's not something I can tell you right now. We're going to guarantee it. It's something we're pushing for. I'd like to think it should come. But that's where this is coming. This is where it's going. So here's your information again. So Uncle Lanza, we're inside of the card now. We're a little bit deeper in the bowels of underwriting. So we did the quick and dirty on the property. You saw the property up there. There was the card you can do. You can comp it, cash it, creative. Let's say you're like, I don't need any of that stuff. I'm going to come in here, but you can put your comments, Uncle Lanza and I want to buy. And time-stamped, close it. Your team's in here. Oh, yeah, they already talked. Oh, yeah, they already have this. Oh, yeah, they already did this. They uploaded this. Want to make an offer? Let's do an offer. All sorts of things you can do in here. Checklists. There's there's the quick algorithms, or the quick, what I should say is the other cards to run your strategy on this one property. You have the property, then you run the card based on what your strategy is. Now, I don't want to get into it, but I'll tell you what it's called. There's the thing called assumptions on the back end. And what you do on the assumptions, again, I'm going to leave it here, but you can manipulate, hey, my market, I like 8% closing fees. Well, maybe Uncle Lanza in California, he needs to put 12% on his closing fees because it's the agent, it's the taxes, it's all the BS that comes with it. And you can put those presets in here. So I just want to let you know that under these cards, you can manipulate them even further to contour your certain markets and your strategy. Yeah. That makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So coming soon is all the creative stuff that we have. Now, what I wanted to do is, if you guys can imagine, I'm literally, and we're going to do this as a community now, but I'm single-handedly trying to teach programmers that are not investors how to do creative finance and make a workflow.
Yeah.
My brain was like scrambling their brain. That's scrambling my brain. It was just one thing. But we got all the underwriting stuff done, but there was so much work. But we have all the fundamentals built out for all these things. And these are just a surface of some of the things we're going to do. We have some things in here that allow you to get to the next step on these creative deals. But as far as having the strategy card like this, having it all built out in the workflow, it's coming.
Yeah. Like we said, this is like a new thing just came out on the market. And I mean, it's so exciting to get in on this because you're going to be grandfathered in on a lot of things. And you're also going to just be able to get the input and see as things grow. So I mean, like I told you, I absolutely love getting in on the ground floor, things like this, and really appreciate all the hard work that you put into this and all the developers have put into this, but I'm super excited. I mean, I think we're just scratching the surface on this thing, to be honest. Oh, yeah. We've been on here for about an hour and a half, and to me, it's like we're just scratching the surface of all the things that can be done. So I'm excited to dive into it. I think, I'm going to dive into it. I feel like we need to do session 2 once I get a chance to use a little bit more and, share some things that I'm learning and maybe ask some more questions to you.
I would encourage it. Yeah. And I love it. And I'd love collaborating and then get your perspective or your flair and your taste, because just like others, they're going to have their own ways of doing things and little tricks that they found. I mean, because I don't know everything about it. We still didn't even get into comping.
Yeah.
There's a whole section of comping for Astro Flippers that they did. So that was the privy mindset out there. All right. Yeah. I'm focusing on lead generation and money, but creative too. But yeah, there's the whole comping side.
Yeah.
So again, we didn't even get hour and a half. We didn't even get into comping.
Yeah. Which is amazing. Like I said, what I love about it is, we are now using a lot of different softwares for different things, right? We have a software that we use. Okay, this is the good software for comping. This is the good software that we're using to pull the leads for the auctions and the pre-foreclosures. This is another software that we're using to find out the mortgage data. So we're bouncing back and forth between all these different things. This is all everything under one roof. Like it's amazing. Like you're not going to need any of the other stuff. Sorry to tell you.
No, I'm talking, I'd love to bring like the prop AI in here. Again, I'm going to say things that some of this is dreaming, right? I can't tell you that Pace and Jamil are going to do it tomorrow, but just think about what we have and what those boys are doing. Why isn't Gator's being thought of? We have so many ideas. We have an idea board. It looks like a spider web. RMLO. You should build, Uncle Lanza. You go find Hillsborough House, and then all of a sudden you put it through all the little things. You got your lenders, you got your realtors, you got your agent, you got investors, you got fix and flippers, you get calculators, all the way to close because you have the title company. We have our nationwide title company.
Yeah. Creative.
All in here.
Escrow, yeah.
It's all in here. So that's what I think I'd love to see. Oh, I need an EMD lender. I need a Gator. Okay, cool. We got one. Here's the deal board. Go push the deal on the board. Hillsborough's on the deal board and people are bidding for it or trying to, you put your deal sheet up there. That's what I would imagine. Again, these hedge funds, the other companies are not doing this. They're not thinking of a community that Pace is thinking of. And, this is the big vision of having the biggest and baddest community in real estate and business.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about. I mean, I think that's what the difference is in too. Like we talked about SubTo at the beginning of our time, but it really, the vision that Pace had that's different is like actually building a community, not just trying to sell a mentorship. Everybody else is really just trying to sell a mentorship. Pace from day one, it's all been about building a community. Now you look at where things are at and the products that are coming out of that, which one of which is deal sauce. Yeah, it's pretty fun to be part of all of it for sure. And we had fun over the summertime. We were in part of talking about community. We were in Kalispell, Montana. It's community camp, and Justin took Ann and I on a late sunset
cruise. That was nice.
That was fun. Yeah,
that was nice. And it was a day of chaos at Jerry Norton's house. And then I come up the stairs. We were on the boat. Andrew and I on the boat all day. And I think we looked at each other like, you want to go on the boat? You want to go for a boat ride? We were like, no one else is coming. Because it was just calm. We sat there. We put our feet up. We took some photos and we watched the sunset.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah,
it was nice.
Yeah.
I saw another comment. What's up, Melissa? Deirdre, how are you? I saw again. Can we do a free trial? We have the free trial at the bottom here. You can use Uncle Lanza. Do you have a code yet?
I do. I set it up today, but I don't know.
That's fine. It's going to be mine. I streamlined mine because, there's like XYZ. But there's 2 free weeks. I didn't even put 2 free weeks in there. I just put free trial, but we're doing 2 free weeks.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, just cancel when you're done. But I would say if you're going to commit, like we have commitments, we all want to commit to ourselves, commit to our goals. You're not going to want to leave this. And especially the pricing's probably going to go up. That's the other thing Pace kept saying. He hasn't even said that out loud, like privately. He said it out loud. I was like, oh, damn. So I didn't even know he was going to say that. But it made sense.
If you think about it, like, I don't know, I'm spending whatever, $97 on one software, whatever it is on another software, another one on another. I mean, I'm probably spending, I don't even know how much on 3 or 4 or 5 different softwares, not to mention some of the other things. I mean, you're going to not need any of that stuff. So,
yeah, I still have all mine too. But here's the other thing. And this was a comment I made to someone else. Now I understand if we're going to bootstrap it in the beginning, that's why maybe squadding up with somebody, I think we're okay with that. Now, obviously if you're going to break it and you're going to like pull lists and sell lists, that's the reason why there's limits on here, guys. So it doesn't get, you're not malicious with it, but if a team's starting, that's okay. You need to invest into the business. You need to invest into yourself. It took me $10,000 to get my first deal. I made 12 grand on it. You know what I mean? Like by the time but I didn't have any mentorships. I didn't have nothing. I just failed forward and I should have spent it on a mentorship, but it took me 10 grand to make 13 or 12. But then from there on, I was good. The point of my story is it's the tax deductive. What up, Sam? Tax business expense. You need to invest in tools. I'm an electrician by trade. I don't just show up with a screwdriver and a set of linemen to wire a house. I have a tool bag. I have a toolbox. And the more tools in that toolbox that are the right tools, the more success and the better our job I can do.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Sure, we can be frugal, but I would say use it, put yourself against the wall. We talked about this too. Is like, I'm going to buy an additional package. I'm going to go, all right, I spent the money. I have to do something. I have to. So yeah, that was my little spiel. Myron is showing us how we can pull this LOI blasted. Yes. Larry, it's super easy. And there's a tutorial on my YouTube. I'm going to probably make another one. Uncle Lanza, any final words, anything that we can do for you? How's that?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to connect up with me, you can connect up with me at lanzapartners.com/Vincent. Just click on that link, lanzapartners.com/Vincent, and we can connect up. I do a bunch of free resources as well. So if you click on that link, lanzapartners.com/Vincent, VINCENT, yeah, you can connect up with me. And it's, again, bunch of free resources. I do a weekly call we call Wholesalers Mastermind, where I just talk about different aspects of wholesaling. Recently, we did a 6-week pre-foreclosure class. We do a weekly underwriting Zoom. We do a couple of sales trainings a week. So again, not trying to sell you anything, not trying to charge you for a mentorship. I actually don't have a mentorship. I'm part of the mentorship. I don't need to start another one. Yeah, but if you want to connect up, that's it. Lanza back, and then it's /Vincent. So
okay, all right. I got your wonderful face though on the front with a nice video. So from there, can I go to resources?
I think you got it. Actually, click on that link.
Let me fix the link then.
Yeah.
So guys, but it's in the description. It says Vincent in the description. So our team we found Lanza Partners. We didn't want to put, I guess that was the best thing to do. I wanted to make sure that that was the best place to get a hold of you. So, because guys, I know, and it makes sense when I see this now, that's Uncle Lanza. This is how he started. This is what he did. He helped non-students get deals done.
Yeah.
And people that didn't know what they were doing, he gets them done. And that's the coolest aspect of this. And he's still doing it.
Yeah. We got one on the market right now in Napa, California, which is the wine country. First deal for a student. It's on the market right now. Yeah. And they're going to walk away with a good chunk of change out of that deal. Together, we partnered on it. And yeah, so I still love doing that. It's probably my favorite thing. Yeah, there you go. Lanza Partners. Probably still my favorite thing to do in the community is work with people that have never done a deal before and, learn together. And honestly, yeah, I'm sure they learn from us, but I also learn from them. And in this particular deal, the person that I partner with has been extremely helpful. We've gotten to hang out. We've gone to lunch together multiple times. We've met at the property together. And so now we've developed a great friendship. We talk to each other at least once a week and to catch up on stuff. So it's not only about the business side of it, but it's about the personal side. Well, just like the two of us here, right? We never would have met each other if it hadn't been for the SubTo community. And it's we just, whenever we see each other, we have fun. Like we said, it's not just about doing deals. It's about taking boat rides.
Yeah.
Boat rides.
And we keep going,
Montana, right?
And, we keep going hey, let's collaborate. Let's do something. Well, this is it. This is, and the next thing it might be, hey, I found this or I found that. Guys, this is the name of the game. And, I hope you heard what Uncle Lanza was talking about. If you're not part of a community, for now, go in the free Facebook group. Reach out to Uncle Lanza here at lanzapartners.com/Vincent. Please, get around the campfire. That's what we're trying to say. Now, we're not even talking about deal sauce. You're talking to two humans who love this community so much and who are thankful for being and having this community, because I know it's changed my life. I know it's literally changed everyone in my peripheral's life.
Yeah.
And I know for you, it's complemented it really well. April, what's up? I got your message last night. We were chatting. April's in the side chat. Who else? All right, Uncle Lanza. So you want collaborators? Any other markets? What markets you in?
Right now we're working in California, which is where we're at. And we have, I live up in Northern California. Some of our other people are down in Southern California that are on our team, but we also do deals in Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. So the southeastern part of the state. I own some property in North Carolina and Florida and Georgia. So yeah. And always looking for deals, so, send deals my way.
All right. What else, anything else that we can do for you?
I think we're good right now. I
Love
mean,
it.
this is blowing my mind. I'm just so excited. Like, I'm so
right.
glad. I know, like, I remember talking to you about this, like, I don't know how long ago, like 6 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago. And it's like, it's coming. So it's super excited to hear this finally here. And I'm just anxious to dive into it. Like I said, we definitely have to do a part 2 once I get a chance to dive a little bit deeper. I'm sure I'm going to have more questions for you.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to have your own little section of this too. At some point, Lanza Method's going to be in there. We'll figure out a way of incorporating it. Yeah, I mean, I just put in there like finding wholesalers.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's some workarounds, and other people are going to think of it, but that's just one of the buttons we can put.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much. You're going out to lunch with another community member, I think, today. So you're actually just going to keep on.
Yeah, in a little while, not for another 2 or 3 hours, but yeah. So yeah.
Awesome, guys. Hey, I hope you got some value, guys. If you liked what you got, please, I don't know, go over, give some love to Uncle Lanza. Please make a comment. I'm trying to grow the Facebook. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a photo, Uncle Lanza. I'm gonna look at the camera.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. All right, that's what we do around here, guys. I'm going to put on the social media. We're going to kill some birds with one stone.
Right.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. If there's something you guys want from, Uncle Lanza or myself or a tutorial, let me know. Hit me up, and I'll be glad, or I'll try to get something in the pipeline for you, because I want to make a bunch of videos, tutorials. I don't know what people want, because guys, I'm not a software engineer. So I'm a user just like you, and I'm just trying to give you the value that I know, if maybe a little bit ahead of the curve, because I know people are going to supersede me very quickly. So I'll try to get you guys up to speed, and then you guys are off to the races. And Uncle Lanza is going to do the same thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We're here to help and excited to dive into it. And let's do this thing together. Let's take this journey together. So definitely sign up, 14-day free trial. Have nothing to lose, right? Like just take it for a test drive, free of charge.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to be hooked. It's like you're going to drive the car and you're never going to want to get out of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not returning it. All right, guys, enjoy the weekend. Keep it up, and let's here's to 2025. Have a good day, guys. Cheers.